Shares in Chinese property developer Country Garden have jumped more than 20%. This is on speculation the Chinese government will prop up the sector, so there'll be some government intervention there. Joining me now is Edward Boyd. Ed, this is good news for Australia's iron ore sector, of course.
Of course. Look, China, the property sector in China is responsible for about 35 to 40% of all the steel demand in China. And obviously, a lot of Australia's iron ore ends up in China's steel mills and it helps fuel their construction sector. So speculation's been building really over the past couple of weeks that the Chinese government is going to step in and help some of its struggling property developers. A couple of days ago, Bloomberg News reported that there's apparently a list of 50 developers which are set to receive benefits over the next few months. And one of them is Country Garden, which owes about $190 billion in debts. So its shares yesterday on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange jumped about 23% on speculation they're going to be propped up, along with 49 other businesses. Another one, of course, is Evergrande, which is also on the list. So this is obviously good news for China's property sector. It means they're going to be building more apartment blocks again and using more iron ore. So the iron ore price, it's now at its highest level since March this year. It's at about $133 a tonne. Iron ore miners have been some of the best performing companies on the stock market for the past sort of 4 or 5 days.
Okay, it's Thanksgiving in the United States, which means it could be a pretty quiet day for our stock market.
Pretty quiet day for our market and for most markets around the world. Usually when Wall Street markets are shut, there's just less trading activity. And we've definitely seen that in the past 24 hours. This is what's happened on our market today. Up about 17 points, so maybe a little bit more activity than anticipated. But the companies to look out for today are energy stocks, particularly oil producers. Because in the last 24 hours, OPEC, which is the big oil cartel based out of the Middle East, which also has Russia and some African nations as well, they've postponed their meeting where they set their potential production targets for oil, and it's actually pushed down the price of oil. It's below $80 a barrel. So that is kind of a good sign for Australians at the petrol pump. Obviously, it takes more than a month for oil prices to actually get through to the petrol bowser, but we could be seeing some petrol price relief reasonably soon, hopefully, as we get into Christmas.